Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the human digestive system. The nutrition in the human beings take place through human digestive system. The human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and its associated glands. The various organs of the human digestive system in sequence are mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and the large intestine. The esophagus is also known as the food pipe. Now let's see the diagram to understand the digestive system clearly. Following are the parts of digestive system of human being. The topmost part, as you can see, is the buccal cavity or the mouth cavity. Just beneath the mouth or the buccal cavity is the esophagus, which is long pipe-like structure, and it is continuous towards the stomach. The J-shaped structure is the stomach, and on the left hand side you can see the liver, which is red in color. Then the long narrow coil-like structure is the small intestine, and the broad tube-like structure, which is green, is the large intestine. Glands associated with the digestive system are the salivary gland, liver and the pancreas. Salivary gland produces salivary amylase, which help in the digestion of starch or the carbohydrate into the glucose. Liver secretes bile pigment, which is yellowish in color, that contains the bile salts. Pancreas secretes pancreatic amylase, trypsin and lipase. Amylase break down starch into the glucose. On the other hand, trypsin helps in breaking down of protein into amino acid. Lipase helps in breakdown of emulsified fats. As we all know that the human beings have a special organ for the ingestion of food. It is called mouth. The mouth cavity or the buccal cavity contains teeth, tongue and the salivary glands. The teeth helps in breaking down the complex food particle into the simpler form, thus help in the physical digestion. Salivary gland secretes salivary amylase, which is mixed with the food with the help of the tongue, and it helps in the digestion of the starch in the food into the sugar. Thus the digestion begins right in the mouth itself. Since the food remains in the mouth for a very short interval of the time, the digestion is incomplete in the mouth. So later on it will be carried out in the remaining part of the digestive system. Let's see how it goes on. Now the partially digested food is swallowed by the tongue and goes down the food pipe called esophagus. The esophagus carries food to the stomach. This happens as follows. The wall of the food pipe have muscles which can contract and expand alternately. When the slightly digested food enters the food pipe, the wall of food pipe starts contraction and expansion movements. This contraction and expansion movement is known as the peristaltic movement. This peristaltic movement further pushes the food into the stomach. Now the stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped organ present on the left side of the abdomen. The food is further digested in the stomach. The food is churned in the stomach for about 3 hours. During this time, the food is converted into the semi-solid paste. The stomach wall contains 3 tubular glands which secretes the gastric juice. The gastric juice contains 3 substances: the hydrochloric acid, the enzyme pepsin and the mucus. The function of the hydrochloric acid is to make the medium acidic so that the enzyme pepsin can work efficiently. Enzyme pepsin helps in breakdown of the protein molecule into smaller particles or the smaller, simpler form. The mucus help in protecting the inner line of the stomach from the hydrochloric acid. Now, the partially digested food then goes from the stomach into the small intestine. The exit of food from stomach is regulated by a sphincter muscle which releases it in small amounts into the small intestine. Well, I forgot to tell you the another function of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. It also kills the harmful bacteria which may enter the stomach along with the food. Now let's come to the small intestine. The small intestine is the largest part of the alimentary canal. It is about 6.5 meters long in an adult man. It is known as small intestine, although it is very long. but since it is very narrow, so it is known as small intestine. Although the length of the small intestine varies in the different animals depending on the mode of their nutrition. The small intestine in the human being is the site of complete digestion of food like carbohydrate, proteins and fats. It receives secretion of two glands, the liver and the pancreas. Liver secretes bile. Bile is a greenish yellow liquid made in liver which is normally stored in the gallbladder, and it makes the food alkaline, and it also helps in emulsifying the fat present in the food. Thus, bile perform the two functions. It makes the acidic food alkaline, and secondly, it help in breakdown of the fat present in the food. The pancreas is a large gland which lies parallel to and beneath the stomach. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice which contain pancreatic amylase, trypsin and lipase. As we know that the amylase help in breakdown of the starch, the enzyme trypsin help in digestion of the protein. On the other hand, the lipase help in breaking down of the emulsified fat. The walls of the small intestine contain gland which secretes intestinal juice, and this intestinal juice contain a number of enzymes which complete the digestion of complex carbohydrates into glucose, proteins into amino acid and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Glucose, amino acid, fatty acid and glycerol are small water soluble molecules. In this way, the process of digestion converts the large and insoluble food molecules into small water-soluble molecules. The chemical digestion of food is brought about by biological catalyst called enzyme. After digestion, the molecule of food becomes so small that they can pass through the wall of the small intestine. The wall of the small intestine contains finger-like projection called villi, and with the help of this villi, it absorbs the digested food. The blood carries the digested food to all parts of the body where it is assimilated as parts of the cell. This digested food is used by our body, and the remaining part of the food which is not used as soon as digested are stored in the form of glycogen in the liver. This stored glycogen provides energy when we require energy. Now come to digestion. Digestion is the last part of the digestion. A part of the food which we eat cannot be digested by our body. This undigested food cannot be absorbed in the small intestine. So this undigested food passes from the small intestine into a wider tube-like structure called the large intestine. In the large intestine, the water is absorbed from the undigested food, and this undigested part of food become almost solid. The last part of the larger intestine called rectum stores this undigested food for some time, and ultimately it is thrown out of our body in form of the stool or feces. The act of expelling the feces is called egestion or defecation, and the exit of feces is controlled by the anal sphincter. Question time. Which enzymes are secreted by pancreas? Why is the small intestine longer in case of herbivores? Thank you for watching my video. See you next time.